celebrated his 25th birthday on Tuesday. And he's also your music guy. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Brian Salwasser.
Thanks, Wes, for that introduction. Yes, I just had my 25th birthday. I'm a quarter of a century year old, almost there to 30. And for some reason, guys are scared of 30. I don't know why. Someone who's over 30 answer that question. No. So New Year's has just passed. How was everyone's New Year's? Come on, let's get some little interaction here. You, Matt, how was your New Year's?
It was legally wild.
You were legally wild. I remember New Year's. I don't remember New Year's because New Year's you get drunk on New Year's. But I do remember something. Wes was talking about his first time with a girl. So I remember my first time with a girl. You know, it was an IOU. It was seriously an IOU. I remember once she was supposed to have sex with me and she dissed me for ex-boyfriend and she wrote down on a piece of paper. She's like, "I owe you sex." So I kept this piece of paper with me for 6 months, okay? 6 months. I had it in my little wallet, in my back pocket. And I'm like, okay, one day I'm gonna put this shit to use. I swear to God. So stress goes to work, and I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna go to SoCal, and I'm gonna really use this shit. So I go and I meet her, and for some reason her mom wants me to sleep in a tent outside, you know? So we had to build this little makeshift like fucking tent, dude, like the Boy Scouts, like back in the way, like a little teepee, you know? All we're missing was a little like makeshift fire going on, you know? But like, so we're going at it, and it's hot and it's heavy. Oh, by the way, my friend's passed out next to me, throwing up from like fettuccine Alfredo. So, you know, he didn't mind, you know, he's like, you know, my, oh yeah! So like, I was going at it, I'm like, yeah. And you know, with sex, it's supposed to be beautiful, it's supposed to be passionate, and it's supposed to last a long, long time, like 6 seconds. You know? Come on, that deserves a little something there, come on. You know, a lot of people last 2 or 3, no, I lasted 6 seconds my first time, you know? It was wonderful, you know? And what I do immediately, like, you know, I'm a spooner, you know, I love spooning after, I make love to a girl. So we're just spooning, we were just like cuddling, you know? And then for some reason, you know, the first thing that comes to my mind was, that was it? Like, you know, that's what I waited for. You know, like, you know, everyone's like, you know, can't wait to have sex, can't wait to get laid, you know, You know, and that was it. You know, that's what everybody talks about. And she's just like, what the fuck did you just say? And I'm like, you know, it was my first time. And then she just a little, oh, you lost it to me. So, yeah, we don't talk anymore because of that. So, oh, man, you know, and for some reason this just popped in my head. I remember a time I was making out with this girl, you know, and like, I was sitting on her couch, you know, and she was straddling me, you know, and like, for some reason, she had the littlest tongue in the world. Like, her tongue would only go out like that far. Like, seriously. Like, did you ever see the movie Aliens, dude? That's how my tongue had to be. I'd be like, you know, like a little snapping turtle, like that going on. So we were just passionately just making out, you know, doing the whole little, like, you know, back in the little, you know. So that's where we're going out, and all of a sudden her dad, like, starts walking downstairs, you know, and he's just, like, staring at us, you know. So he just walks calmly to the refrigerator. He opens up, you know, gets, you know, a little glass of milk, and then he walks right back, and he climbs upstairs, you know? And I'm sitting here, you know, and I'm like scared. I'm like, oh shit, dude, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And she's like, oh, don't worry. For some reason, I'm like, there, bitch! I just go on, and I'm like, I'm out the door, I get in my friend's little fucking, you know, 68 VW bug, and we fly back to San Jose. She lived in San Mateo, so it was pretty far, fly back. So I'm recently dating now, you know? it takes me a while to date. It has to be like the perfect girl. I'm not just like the casual dater. Like I'll date this girl here, I'll date this girl here. But like I'm dating this girl, and for some reason, after we do it, like I said, I'm a spooner. She checks her MySpace right after I finish. Like, dude. Ask her, if you see me with her, you know what I'm talking about, all right? But seriously, she's just like, you done, Brian? I'm like, yeah, I'm done. She's like, okay. Oh, don't you block me? And she's there, like, butt naked too, just checking her MySpace for some reason. I also had a conversation recently with one of my best friends that was a girl, And sometimes, like, you get in that conversation, like, how come we never dated before, And it hits you, dawns on you, and she's like, Brian, you're a very sweet guy, you're everything that a guy can want, but just... I'll destroy you! And it's like, what? I will rip your heart out and take your spine out! It's like, oh, I love you, you're my friend. And she's just one of those people that's like, no, I don't want to date you. I'll break your heart. I'll rip it in two. I'll wrap you around my little finger, just like every girl has, Brian. And I'll break you. So how many people travel? Do people travel around here? Like, what's someone like who traveled like during the holidays? Anyone? All right, well, where'd you travel, Miss? Woo, there. Can't see shit, huh?
Las Vegas.
You went to Las Vegas? Well, this is cool. I've never been to Vegas. I'm 25 and I've never been to Vegas. I need to change that shit. But I traveled to Paris. And one of my friends wanted to hear my story about Paris. He's like, Brian, well, where'd you travel to? And me being, the kind of stupid dyslexia person I kind of am just a little bit, I'm like, boy, I've been to London and England. Now you all get it. It's the same place. I meant to say London and Paris. So I get to Paris, and of course we're like, oh wow, Paris, Eiffel Tower, they fly French bread, And so we get to the hotel, and we're like, yo, hotel dude, we just got out of Paris. I'm hungry, I want some food here. I want to eat, Where can we eat, And he's like, oh, let me tell you my type of the computer. Oh, there's a little French restaurant around the corner for very good French cuisine. You're gonna love it. So I'm like, all right. So we're all skipping along. We're like, okay, let's check out this place. We're around the corner. We see the Golden Arch McDonald's. Yes, she sent us to like the best French cuisine in town, which is the McDonald's. So